Hey everyone, and welcome to this complete Assetto Corsa tutorial, where I'll show you how to install Content Manager, Custom Shaders Patch, Soul, Cars and Tracks, PP filters, chase cam, and even compression, which will save you a ton of disk space in the long run. With that, let's get straight into it. Now, the first thing you're gonna want to do is open up your web browser and type in Assetto Corsa Content Manager. Even though Google will provide several different links, I prefer to use the one from Assetto Corsa Club since it's much more recent. When the web page loads, you need to scroll all the way down to the bottom, where you'll find a link for the light version of Content Manager. By clicking on the link, you can now download it, at which point it will ask you where you want to save it. I'm going to save it at my desktop. When the file has finished downloading, open it up by clicking on it. You can now close your web browser, after which you can extract Content Manager directly to your desktop, or you can copy it to your desktop. Since I already have it installed, I'm obviously going to skip that part. When you open up Content Manager for the first time, this is what you're greeted with. At the very top, you have the Assetto Corsa Root Folder, which should be filled in automatically, but if it isn't, I'll show you how you can find it. Next up is your Steam ID, which is associated with your Steam and is used for online connection. Last but not least, there's also name, which is how you want to be seen in online lobbies as well as in Content Manager. Finding your Assetto Corsa root folder is really simple and easy. All you have to do is open up Steam, go to Library, find the Assetto Corsa application, then right-click, Properties, go to Local Files and simply click on Browse. A window will pop up that will show you your Assetto Corsa root folder. You can now copy the path at the top and have it ready. It's important to note that even though for me the Assetto Corsa root folder is located in D, for you it might be in C, E, F, whatever you have it as. You can now close the File Explorer as well as Steam since you won't be needing them at this time. If Content Manager hasn't automatically filled out your Assetto Corsa root folder, you can now paste the path that we copied at the top. Don't forget to change your name from the default player, since a lot of servers will actually kick you out if your name is simply player. You don't need to install any of the plugins below, but 7-zip will come in handy when we're installing different mods such as Cars and Tracks. Then simply click OK and that's it, you're good to go. When you first open up Content Manager, this is what you'll see. Don't feel intimidated by the user interface because it's honestly pretty simple and easy to use. I'll explain how everything works in just a moment. First, we need to install Custom Shaders Patch. Go to Settings and then go to Custom Shaders Patch. Then click Yes, Install Custom Shaders Patch. For me, it says reinstall since I uninstalled Custom Shaders Patch to show you how it works. Then, when Custom Shaders Patch is downloading, you can see all of the different versions available on the right hand of your screen. Now, this next step is really important, otherwise a lot of the mods that we're going to be installing in a minute won't work. From the right hand side, select either 0.1.78 or 0.1.79. Now, if you click Drive, you'll be taken back to the main menu where you can select different modes such as Practice, Hot Lap, Race, and so on. You can also change different parameters here, such as track temperature and so on. By clicking on the car at the top left, you can switch out cars and preview them in the showroom. Right next to that, you can also change your track. Once you've done all of that, simply click Go and Assetto Corsa will boot up automatically. It's now time to install Soul. Soul is responsible for controlling the weather in Assetto Corsa, and it makes the game look incredible whether you're driving at dusk, in broad daylight, or even at night. You can also make it rain in Assetto Corsa, but installing rain is a bit more difficult as it is paid content. I'll show you how you can do it a bit later on in this video. Now that it's time to install Soul, the first thing you're gonna want to do is open up your web browser and type in Assetto Corsa Soul. You're going to open up the first link, which is from Race Department. Disclaimer, you do need to have an account on Race Department to download mods, so I suggest registering if you don't have an account already. As you can see, Soul requires Custom Shaders Patch, luckily we have it installed, and Soul does not bring rain by itself. You need a preview version of Soul if you want to have rain. Click on Download and wait for the file to finish downloading. Once the PDF is done downloading, you can open up the file, and as you can see, you have two different download options that you can choose from. Select either one and simply download the mod. When it's finished downloading, you can open up the archive and go inside the mods folder. As you can see, Soul comes with different installation manuals. Feel free to read them, or you don't have to. Go inside Soul, select everything in this folder and select Extract To. At the top, you're going to paste your Assetto Corsa Root Folder, which we copied earlier from Steam, and you're going to click OK. This will copy everything from this folder inside your root folder. I'm going to click Cancel since I already have Soul installed. Next up, let's go back to Content Manager. Go to Settings, scroll down, find Weather FX, and make sure that it is active or enabled. From Controller Script, make sure you have Soul 2.2 selected. And from the Weather script, also select Soul. As you can see, I also have Pure installed. Pure is a slightly more advanced weather script, but it isn't free. I'll show you what Pure does at the end of this video and how you can install it. For now, simply leave Soul as your weather script. To use Soul, first we need to enable it. So, go to Assetto Corsa in Settings, go to Apps, and make sure that all of the available apps, which include Soul in their name, are ticked on or active. If you install other apps by yourself, this is where you can enable them. Now, before I tell you how you can install cars and track mods, I need to show you how Assetto Corsa works behind the scenes, so you know how to install them. Open up File Explorer and go to your Assetto Corsa root folder. What's inside, you can see there are various different folders, but inside content lives everything that we're going to be downloading. As you can see, there's a cars folder and there's a tracks folder. Inside cars, you'll find every single car mod that you have. And inside tracks lives every single track that we're going to be installing. It's important to note that different mods might require slightly different methods of installing depending on where you download them from and who made them. To show you what I mean, here I downloaded 3 different mods. If we open up our first mod here, which is a Subaru, you can see that there is simply a content folder inside. And there's also a content folder inside our Assetto Corsa root folder. What you're going to want to do is select the content in the archive, click Extract To, and you're going to paste the Assetto Corsa root folder at the top. This will cause the 2 content folders to merge, effectively copying everything from the archive inside the Assetto Corsa root folder. Once you're done, simply click OK. This will copy everything inside the Assetto Corsa folder. We can now close the archive, and if we open up our cars, simply type in Subaru, you can see that the mod was successfully installed. Now if we open up the second mod I have downloaded, you can see that there is no content folder inside. It's simply the car folder directly. So to install this one, we're going to go Extract To again, except this time we can't simply extract it to the base root folder. We have to select Content and then Cars. This will copy everything from our archive directly into the Cars folder. Click OK. And that's it, you're done. Close the archive, go back to Content Manager, go back to Cars, type in Suzuki, and there it is. I also downloaded a track mod to show you how you can install tracks. If we open up the track archive, you can see that there is a single folder inside. However, if we open up that folder, you'll see that there is a content and an extension folder inside. To install this, we're going to extract them to again, and this time we're going to extract them to the Assetto Corsa root folder, since the content and the extension folders live inside the base Assetto Corsa folder and not the tracks folder. As you can see, I already have this one installed, so I'm not going to copy it again. Now, if we go back to Content Manager, search for the track, and there it is. So we have successfully installed 3 different mods. Just to quickly recap, mods which have a content folder inside, you copy directly to the base Assetto Corsa root folder, and mods which are standalone, regardless if they're a car or track mod, you copy inside content and then either inside cars or inside tracks. Now let's download post-processing filters which will make your game really stand out. open up your browser and type in Assetto Corsa PP filter. As you can see, there are dozens if not hundreds of different PP filters that you can download and install. There's a Need for Speed one, there's a natural graphics mod, there's all kinds of them. For this one, let's just download beautiful PP filter. Again, you need to have an account to download from Race Department. Simply click download and open it up. Inside this specific PP filter, we have a mods folder and another folder, and then inside we have an apps and a system folder. Although installing PP filters is similar to how you install cars and tracks, they live in a slightly different folder. Now, if we go back to the Assetto Corsa Root Folder, you should remember that the cars and track mods live inside content. However, the PP filters do not. To install PP filters, we need to go to System, then we need to go to CFG, and finally to PP filters. Inside, you'll see that I have various different PP filters that I use. To install a new PP filter, we can either go back to the root folder and simply drag and drop, or we can do what I like to do, which is extract to and select the base, that is root Assetto Corsa folder, since the apps and the system folders will get merged with the ones inside a root folder. Then we click OK, and that's it. Now if we go back to our PP filters folder, you can see that the PP filters that we just installed can be found inside the folder, meaning that we successfully installed these filters. Now to test out our new PP filters, let's just load up Assetto Corsa with any track and car that you want. Here I selected the Nissan Silvia S15 and the Kagi Hill Climb. Once you're inside Assetto Corsa, click Drive, and if you go to your right hand, select Apps, find Post-Process Filter and turn it on. From this little menu, you can now switch between all the various different PP filters that you have installed, and on certain filters, not all of them, you can even change the exposure level. I recommend playing around with different PP filters and finding out which one you like the most. Some PP filters work good with rain, for instance, while others work better at night or during the day. I like to use Pure since it offers the best exposure and contrast. Even though Pure isn't free, it makes the game significantly better for me. I have a separate video on installing Pure and using it, so if you want to use it, feel free to check it out. Although the default Assetto Corsa chase cam is okay, if you really want to step up your game, you should use KirbyCam. KirbyCam again can be downloaded from Race Department, and installing it is pretty simple. Again, all you do, copy the extension folder, go to extract to, select the Assetto Corsa root folder. This will merge extension in the archive to the extension inside the root folder, and simply click OK. Since I already have it, I'm not going to bother installing it again. To use KirbyCam, let's go back to Content Manager, select Settings, go to Custom Shaders Patch, find Chaser Camera, and from the script use, select KirbyCam. The great thing about the Chaser Camera is that you can fine-tune how it looks and how it behaves. To do that, let's go to Assetto Corsa in Settings and go to Chase Camera. From here, you can alter various different parameters from height, distance, and pitch. Since some cars are taller or longer than others, there is no global chase cam parameters. You might need to change them depending on what car you plan to use. Again, I have an entire separate video explaining how to properly set up chase camera, so if you want to see that, I'll leave the link down in the description. Now, if you want to have rain in Assetto Corsa, you'll need to download a preview version of Custom Shaders Patch. To do that, let's go back to Soul on Race Department, and as you can see, there is a link for a Patreon. If you click on it, it'll take you to X4Fab, which is Ilya Yusupov's Patreon page, where you can find the CSP Preview for download. You do need to be a Patreon though, so if you want to download it, you have to subscribe to him. It's only about $1 a month though. Here, I already have CSP Preview downloaded on my desktop, and the great thing about CSP Preview is that to install it, all you have to do is drag and drop it on top of your content manager. Then, from the top right hand corner, all you have to do is click install. I'm going to click cancel since I already have it installed. To confirm that you have it installed, go back to settings, go to custom shaders page and go to about and updates, and as you can see, you should see a preview version installed and manually locked. Now to see if this worked, let's go back to Drive, select any car and track combination and click Go. Once you're inside the game, click Drive, go to Apps, and if you select Soul Planner, you should see that you will be able to change the weather, make it foggy, rainy, create a thunderstorm, wind, whatever you want. Soul can control this dynamically. However, if you want to make it rain or change the wetness or the puddles yourself, you can do so by adjusting the sliders. Now let's talk about compression. If you have hundreds of different car modes and track modes like me, your hard disk is probably pretty full. To save up some space, you can compress the files. Go to Content, Tools, and select Compress Files. Give Content Manager a few moments to analyze your mods. As you can see, by compressing my own mods, I've managed to take down the total size from 277 GB to just over 93 GB, which means that I have saved over 184 GB. To compress your own files, leave the compression algorithm to LZX, which is recommended, and simply click Compress. This might take anywhere from several minutes to several hours depending on how many mods you have and how fast your CPU is. So, if you have a ton of mods, I suggest leaving it overnight. If you're interested in installing Pure, please check out my other video to see what Pure does and how you can use it. As you can see, Pure completely transforms the weather for Assetto Corsa and makes it much more lifelike and creates a better immersion. Especially at sunset or at sunrise, the differences are immense. That's it for this video guys, thanks for watching. If you found this content enjoyable and it helped you in any way, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more tutorials.